Midweek greetings and welcome to the week's third edition of Primetime News. I'm Michael Madimba. As we always request, if it's your first time joining us, please subscribe to the bulletin, press the like button, and be sure to click the bell icon to stay informed of the latest happenings on locally and globally. The Central Bank headlines our bulletin tonight. The Bank of Namibia's Monetary Policy Committee has decided to increase the repo rate by 25 basis points to 4.0%. Bank of Namibia Governor Johannes Gavagap announced earlier today.
The Monetary Policy Committee of the Bank of Namibia has decided to increase the repo rate by 25 basis points to 4%. This decision was taken following a review of the global, regional and domestic economic as well as financial developments. The MPC is of the view that the increase in repo rate by 25 basis points to 4% is appropriate to safeguard the one-to-one link between the Namibia dollar and the South African rand. Moreover, this monetary policy stance is also a step towards normalizing the current negative real interest rate environment and establishing a positive real interest rate that is conducive for long-term economic growth. The MPC would like to reiterate that addressing vaccine hesitancy remains key to the extent, speed and sustainability of economic recovery.
The Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture says the Namibia Senior Secondary Certificate Ordinary Level results will be released on Friday. Shalva Wells compiled the story.
In a media statement issued Tuesday, the ministry said after the completion of the full cycle of examination administration, it is now in a position to announce that the Namibia Senior Secondary Certificate Ordinary Level Grade 11 results for both full-time and part-time candidates will be released on Friday, the 18th of February. The results will be published on the Ministry of Education's website, www.moe.gov.na, and in print media, and will also be available via SMS. To obtain their results via SMS, candidates can send a message with their entire candidate number, for example, 21OE090034 for full-time candidates and 21DE090034 for part-time candidates to any of the three numbers availed for the results, 99099, 2929 or 55755. The statement said your candidate number and results will be displayed on the screen of your cell phone in response. Both the websites and SMS line will be live on Friday, the 18th of February 2022 at 12 midnight.
On to news from the Kavango regions. The Namibian and Angolan governments on Tuesday officially reopened the Sarasungu border post at Rundu. The opening of the border comes after 3 bilateral meetings between the two countries. Both countries agreed to reopen the borders to enable the movement of people and goods, thereby enhancing the citizens' socio-economic status. Sawi Hausiku tracked the event and compiled the story.
Speaking during the official opening of the Sarasungu border, Governor of the Kavango East Region Bonifacius Wakudumo said the borders were closed in 2020 as a measure of controlling the COVID-19 pandemic. He said to enter Namibia or Angola, visitors must present a negative PCR test and a vaccination card with 2 doses. Wakudumo noted those with 1 dose will be subjected to a 7-day quarantine at own cost. Representative of the governor of Cuando Cubango province in Angola, Agostinho dos Santos, called on residents of both countries to make sure they have all the appropriate documents to pass at the border and avoid problems with the authorities in charge.
The month of February is synonymous with cancer prevention awareness, and as such, statistics show that 4 to 5 children on average are diagnosed with childhood cancer in Namibia every week, with leukemia being the most commonly diagnosed form of cancer. Let's get more from this insight that was compiled by Shalva Wells.
This was revealed by Cancer Association of Namibia Chief Executive Officer Rolf Hansen on Tuesday during the launch of the National Spray Marathon held in honor of the International Child Cancer Day, which is observed on the 15th of February every year. National Childhood Cancer Day aims to raise awareness and understanding of issues and challenges related to childhood cancer and its impact on children and adolescents with cancer, survivors, their family and society. Hansen stated that there are currently 230 new childhood cancer cases per year on average, an increase from the 2017 data, which showed that there were between 180 to 200 cases per year on average between 2015 and 2017. He further noted that to strengthen support for families fighting adolescent cancer, the Cancer Association of Namibia established the Chika interim home for out-of-town childhood cancer patients to have safe accommodation while receiving treatment in Windhoek.
Stand by for your top roundup. In the business and economic segment tonight, the Game Product Trust Fund under the Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Tourism has so far received 4.4 million Namibian dollars as part of the 5.9 million Namibian dollars expected to be generated from an elephant auction. Erasmus Shalihakwe filed this report.
A media statement issued on Tuesday by the Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Tourism spokesperson Romeo Muyunda said the ministry is currently busy with the capturing of the 57 elephants that were successfully sold in the auction. 37 elephants have already been captured, consisting of 15 that will remain in Namibia and 22 that will be exported to a destination to be announced at the end of the tender process. He said that the 15 elephants remaining in the country were captured from the Omashete area in the Erongo region, and they are already supplied to Nakuse as the successful bidder. The 22 elephants meant for export were captured from the Kamanyab commercial farming area in the Kunene region, and they will be supplied to Gary Odendaal as one of the successful bidders, and the elephants are currently safely kept in a quarantine facility waiting to be exported. Muyunda said the remaining 20 are still to be captured pending the issuance of permits from the country where the elephants will be exported to, a signed agreement and full payment. 5.9 million Namibian dollars from the auction, of which 4.4 million Namibian dollars is already paid to the Game Product Trust Fund. He added that funds generated through the auction will be transferred to the Game Product Trust Fund to be reinvested in the conservation and management of wildlife resources and rural development, including in community conservancies. Salima Shimwefeleni reporting for Nampa News.
Moving on to the global economy. The World Bank on Tuesday noted in a report that developing countries face growing risks from financial fragility created by the COVID-19 crisis and non-transparent debt, urging policymakers to focus on creating healthy financial sectors. Xinhua gives us an in-depth report.
The World Development Report 2022 stated that finance for inequitable recovery risks may be hidden because the balance sheets of households, businesses, banks and governments are tightly interrelated. The report noted high levels of non-performing loans and hidden debt impair access to credit and disproportionately reduce access to finance for low-income households and small businesses. World Bank Group President David Malpass said the risk is that the economic crisis of inflation and higher interest rates will spread due to financial fragility, adding that tighter global financial conditions and shallow domestic debt markets in many developing countries adding that tighter global financial conditions and shallow domestic debt markets in many developing countries are crowding out private investment and dampening the recovery. World Bank chief said it is critical to work towards broad-based access to credit and growth-oriented capital allocation. He said this would enable smaller and more dynamic firms and sectors with higher growth potential to invest and create jobs. Surveys of businesses in developing countries during the pandemic found that 40% expected to fall into areas. The report showed warning that loan defaulters could now sharply increase and private debt could quickly become public debt as governments provide support. Selime Shimwefeleni reporting for Nampa News.
With the business and economic segment, we've come to the end of the top news segment for this evening. Stay tuned for the economics roundup followed by the weather forecast.
A warm welcome to Everything Sport on Sport Planet with me, Joy Gosses. Football dominates tonight's segment. Former Argentina international striker Sergio Aguero has revealed he might not be able to run again because of a heart condition. Shinwa has more on the story.
The 33-year-old was forced to end his 18-year professional career in December after suffering from a heart arrhythmia while playing for Barcelona 2 months earlier. Aguero admitted that he had initially hoped to continue his career after being released from hospital in October. He said the realization that he would never play football again was hard to accept. "The first 15 days I had a terrible time," he added. Aguero was capped 101 times for Argentina in a career that included spells at Independiente, Atletico Madrid, Manchester City and Barcelona.
On to Europa football. 4 Spanish sides are in Europa League action on Thursday, with some of La Liga's big guns facing a tough task to reach the last 16. FC Barcelona are in the tournament for the first time in their history after their failure to make the knockout stages of the Champions League. And Xavi Hernandez's men have a difficult home game against Napoli.
The Italians are third in Serie A, just 2 points behind AC Milan. They will test Barca, who are improving but still searching for consistency. Xavi is unlikely to risk Ronald Araujo with a calf injury, but the coach could have Memphis Depay available after his muscle problems. Sevilla are another side in the competition after failing to make the last 16 of the Champions League, but given their record in the tournament, the 6-time winners of the Europa League should feel right at home. Finally, Real Sociedad will be without an injured Adnan Januzaj for their visit to play RB Leipzig.
Your sports roundup is up next. We have come to the end of tonight's edition of Primetime News. Thank you for making a date with us. Another reminder that if you are new to this channel, please subscribe, like, share and click on the notifications bell to stay posted on the freshest happenings locally and internationally. Feel free to add your comments as well in the comment section. Catch us tomorrow for another edition of Primetime News. From myself, Joy Gorses, and the entire production crew, it's good night.